Hey everybody, David R. Becker here with Becker Art, and in today's video for 2026 we're starting out fairly fresh and brand new. And so what we're doing this year is we're starting out and teaching beginners and also people who have been painting for a while, but we're starting out from the scratch. And so I'd like to do this video just to show you what in the next 8 weeks we're going to be using, our supplies that we're going to be using. And I want to make it very simple for you guys, do a simple starter setup that you don't have to go out and buy hundreds of dollars worth of mediums and papers and palettes and everything. Don't do that. Just follow along with what I'm going to tell you, a couple of things to get, and then you can just give it a shot and try it. Because maybe you're a beginner who's never done it, and so don't go out and buy somebody else's supply list and everything. Let me just tell you what I'm going to be using for the next 8 weeks, and it's not much, and you can get it for pretty simple, I'm thinking, and for not too expensive a price. And then you're gonna see if you like it or not. Don't have to go out and buy like a whole table and all that stuff. And some people want you to get like 12 tubes. I'm gonna have you get 5 tubes of paint. So let me just go over what I want you to get. So a simple setup will be basically 3 things: paper, brushes, and paint. The palette, you can use a paper plate. You can even use a plate from your kitchen. What I just want you to get, and actually the first paint along that we do is just going to be a one color. So we're going to use 3 of the colors basically, and that meaning I'm using one color, blue, and then black and white with that. And so that's what we're going to start out with next Thursday. But let's just say you need a block of paper. So go out to your local art store, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, what's around your any art store that's around you has good blocks of paper, of watercolor paper. And why do I say a block? That way you don't need to go out and get tape and a board to mount it onto. This is the block of paper is already kind of glued paper together. It's paper that's glued together. Let me just show you right here. So this is just a block, and it comes with about 15 sheets of paper that are glued together. And there's instructions on how to take them off and stuff. And you just take this plastic knife and you go around if you can. Just take it off of there the next time. I wouldn't get it this big. The smaller is better for the beginners. So if you're going out there, maybe just get it 8 by 10, 11 by 14. Maybe you get 11 by 14. This is 12 by 16. I think it's a little bit too big for beginners. It's just a little bit too big. I would say even half the size of this is good enough for you guys. And so buy a block. That way you just get that's the paper. Buy good paper too. Try to get acid free, 100% cotton. That's kind of a good thing. To get 100% cotton paper and acid free, definitely. If it's sized, it would be also good, but a lot of them don't say if they're sized or not. Maybe they say on the back if it's sized. But get a good sized paper. Sizing is what holds the paper together, and what if it doesn't have sizing, it doesn't handle as nicely the paper. So it's not about the size; it's the sizing. All right. So get your paper block. Okay, then. If you do want to get a palette, I made this one, and you can go in. I'm going to put descriptions in the video. You can make your own palette, or just go out there and buy. There's many palettes out there. Ask friends also what palette they use. Maybe I like this one. It's perfect for me. I made it out of white plexiglass and these things. And like I said, I put a video down there if you want to make your own. Or for in the beginning, just use a plate. Just use a plate. And now for the brushes. Make it simple, 2 brushes, and they're not even that expensive out there. I sell my 6 brushes in a set. You can do that. Right now my website is not working, so it's going to be hard right at the moment. Hopefully it'll be working pretty soon, and you can get my set of 6 brushes. Or just get these 2 brushes, like one that's flat and one that's round, and a medium size, because you're not going to be working this size. You work a little bit smaller, and just get the size of the brushes to kind of fit the paper. And this one comes with a really fine point, so this one is like anywhere from really details to really thick washes. All right, so 2 brushes. It doesn't, feel it out. I would definitely get a flat and a round, or if you just don't want to spend any money on that either, just get one big round, or get one round like this. I did that for a class one time, and it was all fine. Just use one brush then. All right, so the brushes are, again, go out there and find nylon brushes are nice. Animal brushes are expensive, so I wouldn't suggest animal hair brushes at the moment. Just get a nice synthetic nylon, and that's what I use. That's what I would sell you. And so they're fine. They're great. They come to a really super fine point. Now for the paints, I want you to get some decent paints. And I want you to get 3 colors. And I want you to get yellow, red, and blue. Those are primary colors. And I want you to get the very brightest yellow, the very brightest red, and the very brightest blue. I'll tell you what I got, but if you don't find that, you don't have to get exactly the colors I'm getting. It's just as long as it's a very bright yellow and like a lemon yellow, a permanent yellow light. I know cadmium yellow, but that's expensive, so cadmium colors are expensive, but just a very bright yellow. I would suggest lemon yellow. That's a pretty decent yellow. For a red, you can get Scarlet Lake, which is a really vibrant red. Go more towards the red, not towards the pink or violet or orange. Just try to get a really vibrant red, the brightest red you can possibly find. Scarlet Lake is fine. I'm using Scarlet Lake. And for a blue, I go for a darker blue, like a medium blue, but bright. Very, very bright. And ultramarine is pretty bright. I can go brighter with a cobalt blue. That's fine too. Don't go with a too light a blue, and don't go too, like a Prussian blue is too dark. So just go with like a medium color blue that's very bright blue, all right? So those are the 3 colors we're using for the next 8 weeks, and we're going to teach you all kinds of things about how to mix those colors and to get all kinds of colors and stuff. And the first week, we're just using one of them. And then we also add white and black to that. I use titanium white because it's opaque, and that way it will cover and make your other colors more lighter. They'll make them, like I can make my red a pink. I can make my blue a light blue, like a blue sky blue. And then a black will just darken and grayer colors. So I'm using a ivory black or a peach black or any kind of black out there because I don't think they're that different. So, but definitely buy good paints. Don't buy those like $1 paints where you get, in the Fiverr store or like Five Below. Don't get that set from that, and it doesn't have any pigment in it. Don't buy some cheap off-brand name. Actually, go and get 5 of these, and these are big tubes, so you can get the smaller tubes. The smaller tubes are this size, so you can just get a smaller size, and they're not that expensive. So you can get like these 5 in a smaller size, but get them from a reputable company like Holbein. Holbein is the best because why? They don't dry out. They don't dry out when you leave them, and then you come back next week. They'll be staying fluid, and then they instantly rejuvenate. So that's why I suggest Holbein. A lot of their good companies are good paints, but if you put out just a little bit and you let it dry, they dry to a hard rock, and you can't rejuvenate them very well. So I suggest get Holbein if you can. If you can't, try to only put out enough paint that you're going to be using, because the next week it'll be all dried up. All right. The first week we'll be doing one color. I'm probably going to use blue. And so I'll use blue. You can use yellow, black, and white. You may be able to use black and white with that one color to either lighten it or darken it, because I want to show you how to use watercolor and apply it to a piece of paper. There's only so many ways you can do that, and we'll be discussing that on Thursday while we're doing our painting, while we're doing our paint along. And we'll probably be of clouds, of some type of clouds and stuff, because I always find that to be a really good way of teaching you guys what to do with the edges, of soft edges and hard edges. All right, so that's not much, right? And everything else, like a water container, use a glass. Let's see what else. Your towel. I use a towel on my. But don't use your good towels though. Go get a good. Go get those pee pads for pets. If you have your pet, use your pee pad and put it down on your table, and that way I can rub my brush on it. That's what I use for my classes. I started doing that, and I just bring the pee pad over. And what else do you need? Paper towel. All those things you'll have. And you don't have to go out there and especially get those, all right? You'll have them in there. And again, for the palette, you can at first just use a plate and just put your paint on the plate. Because we're only using the one color, so that you're not going to waste very much. All right? And then also get good stuff of these 3 things. Get really good things, because it makes it easier on you. And then if you keep on going, you'll have the good stuff, and you're not going to have to then go and rebuy something that's better. As long as you get a brand name, Holbein, what's another brand name? I always use Holbein. So Winsor Newton, Core, Daniel Smith. Those are all good paints, but they have oxgall in them, and they dry out. And so I suggest for the students to use Holbein. And they're very bright colors, and they're very, very well thought of. So get Holbein if you can. If you can't, just get something decent. You know, don't get those where you get 12 of them in a package for $5. It's not gonna. That is not good paint. All right, and also with the paper too, buy the block. Don't buy spiral bound. Spiral bound usually is not the kind of way you want to go. If it is like a pad that it flips up, it's not glued all around, that's okay. I think that'll be fine for you. And we'll see you then on Thursday. We'll be doing a one color study, and we'll be using only one of those colors, and maybe I'll even just use one or two brushes just to show you. So don't spend too much money at first. If you already have this stuff, then fine. Go find your one color you want to use on Thursday, and then I'm going to be using these 5 colors for the next 8 weeks. And I mean, if you want to use another color besides that, but it's very important that the lesson plan is going to show you how to mix a lot of these colors together to get certain colors and how to get certain things. All right. So we'll see you on Thursday, and look for this video in my new playlist, because I have a new playlist for 2026, and everything will be numbered from 1 to whatever amount of videos I do, and sometimes they'll be listed as materials, and then just the paint-alongs, and my demos on Sunday. All right, so we're organizing things as much as I possibly can, and we'll see how good it goes, and then we'll see if you like it. If you don't like the first one, then you didn't spend that much money, and so you can say, yeah, I'm going to go back to oils, or I'm going to just... And actually, it's not as hard as people make it out to be. It really isn't. People always downplay, because they're always like... Or not downplaying, they're always making it sound like it's not that good, because you have to get everything, you can't erase, you can't put things back in, and all that stuff is false. You can do all those things that you're saying, that people are saying that you can't do, you can do. All right, so we'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.